What is going on, guys, and welcome to today's video. We're going to be talking about Morphling and why he is one of the best heroes in Dota 2 currently. He was the most contested and most picked hero in the Bali Major, which means the pros really put a big priority on this hero in the Major. It was pretty much picked and banned 100% of the time, and that's absolutely incredible for a hero that has under a 50% win rate all across all MMRs. And I think the main reason for that being is Morphling is a very difficult hero to use, as if you have a small hero pool, you won't really get the most value out of this hero. You need to understand what matchups you are playing against and what heroes you are going to morph as you need to be thinking about these things, as you need to be able to play those heroes pretty decently. If you're going to steal something like Mars Spear, you got to be able to land it, otherwise you're not going to get value out of it. You need to be able to use the enemy hero's abilities against them, so you need to understand what those abilities do and how to land them if they're skill shots, otherwise you're not going to get as much value from morphing. But if you get your aghanims scepter, it is such a freaking strong scepter for you to get. It was pretty much the main item to get on Morphling practically every single game. It mainly cripples agility heroes as they need the attack speed to be able to do damage. It steals 40% status resistance from strength heroes, 70% agility from agi heroes, 25% spell amp from intelligence heroes, and 20% of all attributes from universal heroes. So overall, you really want to morph into either a universal hero or into an agility hero, as you're definitely going to be crippling them to their core. It's mostly good against heroes like Clinks, Juggernaut, Razor, Terrorblade, among a few other matchups. It's definitely very strong against PA as well, as they need that agility for their attack speed as well. It's also going to make you super tanky. With that amount of agility, you're going to have a ton of armor. Not only that, Morphling is very hard to counter, because usually the supports that counter him are pretty strong in the meta, with Nyx Assassin being very strong, OD, Meepo, Tinker, and Anti-Mage being quite a strong carry in the meta. It's not like he can go completely uncontested, and just because you pick Morphling, you're absolutely going to win the game. It's just going to be very difficult. They need to start buying items like Vessel. They need to buy Diffusals to burn his mana. They need to buy Yule Scepters to kite him. You definitely have to deal with this threat from all positions pretty much. And if you don't have a draft that counters Morphling, it's going to be pretty difficult. He's going to be running loose around the map. And Diffusal isn't always the solution. Anti-Mage is really good. It definitely cripples this hero. But if you manage to turn into the Anti-Mage and blink away and have access to Counterspell plus a Linken's, it makes this hero really, really strong. So it's not just matchups that are going to be going against him. It's going to be how the Morphling player is able to go around the map getting kills. This hero definitely takes a little bit of time to come online. I've been playing it from the mid lane, as I'm not a carry player and I don't really want to play him in the carry position. I definitely feel like if your team has picked a very non-greedy hero for carry, so let's say Clinks is pretty strong right now in the meta to play carry, as he builds Solar Crest Deso. It's definitely a very fast item timing that they can pick up and fight. Just with Solar Crest, Clinks is able to move around the map and fight. Then you could definitely play the Morphling. There's not too many bad mid matchups against Morphling. He definitely always farms in the mid lane with the side camps. Even if you get pushed out of lane a little bit, you will always have access to pretty much unlimited regen based on morph. So as long as you have some mangoes and a couple of clarities, you'll be definitely fine. If you feel like you're morphing too much, then you can always go for a bottle. It's always going to be a pretty good option. It's going to delay your timings a little bit, but overall, you're going to be pretty set from the mid lane. There really isn't too much other mid lane heroes that are popular in the meta that can do to you. Ember definitely doesn't do much to you. Void Spirit could definitely burst you if you're not paying attention, but if you are paying attention, it's definitely going to be just fine for you. Morph into strength and know your limits on the hero. It'll take a little bit of time to come online, but once Morphling is online, he's definitely a big threat around the map. And once you don't see a Morphling for 10 minutes, you should be very scared. He's going to come out of the jungle with a Manta, a Dragon Lance, and a few other items. If he gets BKB Scotty, it's definitely very difficult. If it's a good aghanims scepter game for you to be able to steal their attributes, it's definitely going to be very strong, and it's going to cripple the enemy carry. And if they have nothing to deal with that, it's going to be very difficult. I think it's one of the best heroes. I think people should understand how to play Morphling and definitely pick it up. It's not super hard, but you need to know exactly when to morph strength and agility, as that's one of the primary things on this hero. The ultimate is definitely a lot easier to handle, but if you're farming, you definitely want to be almost max agility. But you also need to take into account if they have invis heroes that could just pop you. If you're facing against a Nyx Assassin, you definitely want to be playing around your sentries almost all the time, so you can feel secure in going full agi and get quick farm. But if you are playing under their vision and you have no sentries nearby and you are max agility, you're going to get absolutely obliterated by a Nyx Assassin. So definitely be careful when you're playing this hero into a Nyx Assassin, as it can be pretty annoying, and you definitely have to get your team to ward it up around you where you want to farm and your rotation, so you can feel as safely as possible and not feed to a Nyx Assassin and give them too much gold. What do you guys think about Morphling? Let me know in the comment section below. Have you guys played this hero? Do you guys play it from the mid lane? I know it's primarily a safe lane hero, but I definitely enjoy playing it from the mid lane if the game calls for it. Obviously, you can't play this every single game from the mid lane as it's incredibly greedy. So if you're playing in a stack, it's a lot better because if your teammate knows you want to draft Morphling, they can definitely pick a carry that's not very greedy, and you can definitely make this hero work from the mid lane, as you can dodge a lot of really bad matchups from the mid lane. If you're facing up against an OD or a Meepo, you can just switch to the safe lane as well. It's a very versatile hero when it comes to that. Pretty sure it can't be played from the off lane, but safe lane and mid is pretty good for you to have that ability to change lanes and definitely get a better matchup for yourself. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. A like would be much appreciated. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.